Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy sat down for an exclusive interview with Good Morning America. He delivered a powerful message to the American people. His nation is at war. He came with a plan. He called it the Victory Plan. This plan is not just for Ukraine, it's a plan for global security. It's a plan for peace. Zelenskyy's visit to the United States carried immense weight. He addressed the United Nations General Assembly. Critically, he met with President Joe Biden. The goal? To secure vital support for Ukraine. The Victory Plan was the centerpiece of their discussions. This wasn't just another diplomatic visit. This was a leader fighting for his nation's survival. Zelenskyy's message resonated with urgency and determination. The world listened intently. Let's know the story from the beginning. The Victory Plan is not about conquering Russia. It is a comprehensive strategy designed to bring an end to the ongoing conflict in a manner that respects Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. It's about ending the conflict on Ukraine's terms, ensuring that the sacrifices made by its people are honored, and that peace is achieved through strength and resilience. It outlines a strategic path towards a just and lasting peace, one that addresses the root causes of the conflict and lays the groundwork for a stable future. At its heart is the need to empower Ukraine, to build a nation that is capable of defending itself and deterring future threats. A stronger Ukraine can defend itself against any aggressor, ensuring that its borders are secure and its people are safe. A stronger Ukraine can deter further aggression. Military aid is paramount in this endeavor, providing the necessary tools and resources to bolster Ukraine's defense capabilities. Zelenskyy emphasized the need for more advanced weaponry, highlighting the critical role that modern military technology plays in the defense strategy. He specifically requested long-range missiles, which are seen as a game-changer in the conflict. These weapons, he argued, would change the battlefield dynamics, giving Ukraine the ability to strike at critical targets with precision. They would allow Ukraine to target Russian military infrastructure, disrupting their operations and reducing their capacity to wage war. This includes airbases used to launch attacks on Ukrainian cities, which have caused significant destruction and loss of life. But the Victory Plan is not just about military might. It also encompasses a robust diplomatic strategy aimed at isolating Russia on the international stage. It calls for sustained diplomatic pressure on Russia, leveraging international alliances and partnerships to apply consistent and effective pressure. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining economic sanctions, which have been a critical tool in weakening Russia's ability to sustain its military operations. The message is clear. Russia must be held accountable for its actions, and the international community must stand united in support of Ukraine's quest for peace and justice. Looming over Zelenskyy's visit was the specter of the upcoming U.S. elections. The prospect of shifting political winds in Washington has cast a shadow of uncertainty over Ukraine's future. The possibility of a change in administration raises concerns about the continuity of U.S. support. Would a new administration maintain the same level of commitment to Ukraine's defense? The question hung heavy in the air. Zelenskyy acknowledged these concerns. He stressed the need for bipartisan support for Ukraine. He emphasized that this is not a partisan issue, but a matter of national security and global stability. Despite the grim realities of war, Zelenskyy exuded a sense of cautious optimism. He expressed his belief that the war is closer to an end than many think. This belief, however, hinges on one crucial factor: unwavering support from the international community. "We are closer to peace than we think," he stated. But he also cautioned that this peace will not come easily. It will require continued resolve. It will demand sustained pressure on Russia. His message resonated with a sense of urgency. Now is not the time for complacency, he warned. The world cannot afford to let fatigue set in. The stakes are too high. Long-range missiles, a controversial request. Zelenskyy's request for long-range missiles has sparked debate. Proponents argue that these weapons are crucial for Ukraine to effectively defend itself. They would allow Ukraine to strike Russian military targets far beyond the front lines. Critics, however, express concerns about the potential for escalation. They argue that providing Ukraine with such weapons could provoke Russia. It might even lead to a wider conflict. The Biden administration has so far refrained from providing Ukraine with long-range missiles. The decision reflects the delicate balancing act facing U.S. policymakers. They must weigh the potential benefits of aiding Ukraine against the risks of escalating the conflict. Nuclear threats, a new dimension of danger. Adding another layer of complexity to the conflict are Russia's veiled nuclear threats. While not explicitly stating an intention to use nuclear weapons, Russian officials have repeatedly made alarming statements. They've warned of unforeseen consequences if the West continues to support Ukraine. These threats, while likely intended as a deterrent, have heightened global anxieties. The specter of nuclear war, once unthinkable, has re-emerged as a chilling possibility. Zelenskyy condemned Russia's nuclear rhetoric. He called it irresponsible and dangerous. He urged the international community to take these threats seriously. He stressed the need for a unified response to deter Russia from any actions that could lead to catastrophic consequences. The world is watching. A call for unity. Zelenskyy's visit to the U.S. was a stark reminder that the war in Ukraine is not just a regional conflict. It's a global crisis with far-reaching implications. The world is watching, he said, and the world must act. He appealed for continued global unity in the face of Russian aggression. He called on nations to stand with Ukraine, not just with words, but with concrete actions. He stressed that this is not just about defending Ukraine's sovereignty, but about upholding the principles of international law and the rules-based order. His message resonated with a sense of urgency. The world cannot afford to be complacent, he warned. The stakes are too high. Children of war, Olena Zelenska's message. While President Zelenskyy focused on the military and political aspects of the conflict, navigating the complexities of war strategy and international diplomacy, First Lady Olena Zelenska brought a deeply personal perspective to the forefront, emphasizing the human cost of the conflict. In a moving address, she highlighted the devastating toll the war has taken on Ukraine's most vulnerable, its children. Her voice trembled with emotion as she recounted the harrowing experiences faced by these young souls. Zelenska spoke of the thousands of children who have been killed, injured, or orphaned by the war. She painted a vivid picture of the daily struggles these children endure, from the loss of their homes to the trauma of witnessing violence. She shared heartbreaking stories of families torn apart and futures shattered. Each story was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, yet also a stark reminder of the fragility of life in times of conflict. Her words served as a poignant reminder that behind the statistics are real lives lost and forever altered. The faces of grieving parents and the silent tears of children left an indelible mark on all who listened. Her message was a call to action. She implored the international community to not just hear, but to act. She urged the world to do more to protect Ukrainian children, to provide them with the safety and security they so desperately need. She called for increased humanitarian aid and support for the millions of children who have been displaced by the conflict. Her plea was clear: the world must come together to ensure a brighter future for these innocent victims of war. Thank you for watching. For more in-depth analysis and updates on this developing story, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell.